Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Tolly Frimpong, and on this channel I document and share my journey to financial freedom and financial independence. So this is the second video, guys, that I'm doing in my budgeting series. So in the last video I did an April 2020 budget walkthrough. In today's video I want to do a mid-month check-in, so just show you how we're tracking against the budget that I set in that last video. I'll link it in the description bar below, or I'll add the contact card at the top actually, so you can click through and watch that video before coming back and watching this one, because this is kind of a follow-up, I guess you can say, to the actual budget video which I set a couple of weeks ago. In this video I'll talk through our budget, let you know how we're tracking against the budgeted figures that we set ourselves, and then talk to you about my plans for the rest of April. So if that's of interest to you, you're interested in seeing how we manage our budget and how we implement the zero-based budgeting method for our finances, then please do continue to watch through this video, like, comment and subscribe, and I will get into our budget walkthrough for you now. So as I mentioned in the last video, in terms of income, that's something we want to keep private for now, which is why I've blacked out those figures. And our income, we base it on actual income that we've received for the previous month. So March's income is what we then budget for April's living expenses. So that's why we don't have two columns like we do in the expenses. So we have actual here, and then we have, for the expenses category, we have expenses as estimated and our actual, because obviously we budget how much we plan to spend in the month, and then we input the actual figures that we spend in the month. So if I just scroll down, the first thing you'll see is our food budget, which in my last video I said our food budget for the month will be £50, because we had done such a big shop in March. I was like, April will be fine, we won't really need to spend any money on food, we'll just need to do a slight top up. How wrong was I? Look how much money we've spent so far this month on food. It's actually crazy, like £240, so that's £190 more than we had actually budgeted for. So in the food spending 2 weeks into the month, and we've already overspent by, gosh, nearly 400%. That's just crazy, and that's not what we wanted to do. But I think being at home on lockdown, we've been eating a lot more because we've been in the house a lot more. So whereas the kids will usually go to school and my husband will usually be at work, we've been in the house, which has meant we've been consuming a lot more food. And also because I've been at home, I've just wanted to experiment more with meals and just been cooking and eating a lot more than I would usually do. So also actually my niece and nephew have been staying with us the last couple of weeks as well, so, and they're big teenagers, so they consume a lot of food too. So we've just spent quite a bit on food over the last couple of weeks, but my plan is to not let this figure change from now until the end of the month, because it's just crazy the amount that we spent on food this month. And what this will basically mean is this extra nearly £200 in which we've spent on food, which wasn't part of the budget, it's going to have to now come out of the budget that we set ourselves for May. So that's why it's important to stick to the actual budgeted numbers, so that the following month you're not starting on a minus, which is what we're basically going to end up doing now. In terms of takeaways, we said that we weren't going to spend any money on takeaways in the month of April, and so far we've actually stuck to that, and that's not a surprise given that most of the restaurants are closed since lockdown started. So we just haven't really had the need to get takeaway food. Plus I've been cooking a lot more at home, so we just haven't had to buy any takeaways. So hopefully we're able to make it to the end of April without having to spend any money on takeaways. So hopefully our food category spending doesn't exceed this £190 overspent over the next couple of weeks. So if we move on to our home, the mortgage came out on the 1st of April, and the actual amount that came out was £1,136.07p, leaving us with £3.93 saving, which is good because that goes towards paying off some of that £190 overspend. And then also council tax came out, and I mentioned in my last video that the council tax has gone up to around £135. It actually ended up being £133.86p, so we again made a slight saving of £1.14. Utilities, our water bill came out, and that was for £32.89p, so again we made a slight saving of £2.11p. And I'm pleased to report that we haven't spent any money on electricity and gas this month, as we had anticipated not doing so, because at the end of last month I spent quite a lot on electricity and gas, and that's because I did a big top up at the end of March to last us throughout the month of April. Also, because the weather's been really nice, we haven't used that much gas, which has also been helpful because it means that we still got quite a bit of money left on the gas meter, which means that we shouldn't have to top up electricity or gas before the month ends. So moving on to giving, it was when I was looking back at the last video I posted, I realised that the section that I did on giving was cut out of the video, which is really annoying, but I actually did record a whole section talking about the giving and subscriptions, and for some reason that bit was missing from the video that I uploaded. But just to give you a quick overview, our giving section, we're Christians and we believe in the principle of tithing. So this section is all related to the tithes that we like to pay, and we also do charitable giving and donations as well. So all of those giving come underneath the giving category, and I've blacked that out again just for privacy's sake, because we don't need to be exposing how much money we give to charitable causes. Moving on to subscriptions, I don't know why this whole section was missing from the last video. Very annoying, because we do have quite a few subscriptions and they do cost us quite a lot of money every month. So these are the subscriptions that we currently have. We have TV license, which we pay on a monthly basis, which we budgeted £13 for, and it came out as £13.21p, so that's a 21p over the budget. Google Drive, that's a monthly subscription that we pay, and that comes in at £1.59p a month. We also have our mobile phone contract, so mine and my husband's hasn't come out yet this month, but the budgeted amount is £30 for his and £31 for mine. Internet, at the moment we pay £20 a month, or I budgeted £20. It was actually £19.95p, the monthly subscription, and that is something we're actually wanting to change as soon as our contract ends, because at the moment we have the most slowest internet connection ever and uploading videos just takes forever. So we're going to hopefully, when this contract ends, upgrade it to a much higher speed internet, which will mean that the internet budget is going to have to go up slightly, and somewhere else we're going to have to take that hit. So watch this space and I'll let you know how we get on with that. Next up we have Canva. That's a monthly subscription that I have, and it's something that I use quite a lot for my videos, for my Instagram posts, for all my marketing collateral and deliverables that I produce. I use Canva to do them, which is why I have the paid subscription and don't just use the free version, because there's just so much more that you're able to do, like including your own brand palette, having much better pictures and options and elements that you can use on your creatives that you make in the platform. So that's why I upgraded to the professional version of it, and that £10.67 a month is well worth it in my opinion. The price for this, actually, I should mention, varies every single month because it's in US dollars, so depending on what the exchange rate is, it can go up or down. So like last month it was £10.67, and this month it's gone up to £11.22, so that came out the other day, and that means it's 55p above what we had budgeted for. Audible, that's a new subscription that my husband actually took out the other day, and it's something that we tried to avoid doing. So he was on Scribd for quite a while, but with the Scribd app it has old books on there, so all the new releases aren't really available on Scribd. So that's why he decided to upgrade to Audible, because they have a lot more recent releases and a lot better book options on there, and he goes through books like literally one every week. So that's why we got the Audible subscription, and I'm able to also get books on his app as well. So all in all, so far we have spent £45.97 out of the budget for subscription. So once our mobile phone bills come out, I think we will be pretty much bang on budget in terms of, in fact, yeah, we're down to the penny almost. Our budget of, because if you look at my bill and his bill, there are only two subscriptions left to come out, and that's £61, and the money left in that budget category was £61.69p, so that means it's only 69p extra that we were out by, so that's pretty accurate budgeting. Yay. Moving on to transport, nothing to report here. We haven't left the house. Literally, the car's sat on my drive for the past 2 weeks. I think I need to even drive it just to make sure the car still works, but we haven't driven anywhere. We haven't had to do parking or anything like that, so this category remains untouched, which is good. And the same thing for fun and entertainment. we haven't really done anything fun or entertaining. Well, we haven't spent any money on these categories anyway, so that just stays blank. So I'll move swiftly past there. So life insurance has come out. That was 62p above what we had budgeted for. So we're 60p minus on that insurance category. Car and home insurance, as mentioned previously, we have sinking funds for these, so they shouldn't actually even really be on the monthly budget because we pay it in one go when it's due. Childcare, because all the nurseries are closed and the schools are closed, we don't have any childcare costs for the month of April, which is fantastic. And then miscellaneous, so this is another area in which we have greatly overspent this month. So in miscellaneous, I mentioned last month that the budget, or not last month, sorry, I mentioned in the last video that the budget was £66 for the month, and that was because we had bought a few things that we needed for the house on Amazon, and I didn't think or didn't anticipate that we were going to need to pay for anything else that month. How wrong was I? We've overspent in this category by £200, and that £200 overspent, to be honest, was more because of me. So what I've had to do just this last week is renew my domain name and my hosting for my blog tollyfrimpong.com. If you haven't checked it out, please do. It's in the description bar below. So that's my blog where I talk all about my financial freedom journey, and my hosting was due for renewal with Bluehost, who I was using previously, but it was so bad, the hosting is so slow, the website's so slow that I had to switch platforms to SiteGround. SiteGround are so much better, my blog is so much faster, and it's really reignited my passion for blogging again and making me want to start writing again, now that I know that the experience for the end user is a lot more pleasurable, because before it was so painfully slow to upload every page on my blog, whereas now you click and the page comes up. So please do check out my blog in the description bar below, and while you're there, please do subscribe to my newsletters. Moving on with investments and savings, as I mentioned in my last video, this is currently on pause while we work on building our emergency fund back up. So investments and savings is on pause, as is sinking funds. We won't be putting any money into our sinking funds this month. Our focus would be paying off our emergency fund or rebuilding our emergency fund. So this money that you see here has already gone to the emergency fund, so that £644 has already gone to the emergency fund, which is why it's exactly the same as we budgeted for, because we pay that straight away at the beginning of the month. As you can see, so far this month we've overspent by £400, £405 to be precise, which isn't fantastic, and it just means that come May we're starting the month minus £400. So it's not that we're using an overdraft or anything like that. What that basically means is that my husband's been accruing his income on a weekly basis, so every week he gets paid, that money gets put aside, which we then use to pay for the following month. So the money that he's been accruing throughout the month of April, that money is the money we're now going to use for May's budget. But what this basically means is that before we even allocate the money for May, we have to deduct that £400 from that money for May, if that makes sense. It makes sense to me. Hopefully it makes sense to you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I'll be more than happy to help you or answer your question. But that's literally it for this video. I just really wanted to make this video to do a mid-month check-in. We do a budget check-in on a weekly basis anyway, but I thought it'd be really good to do a mid-month check-in with you guys so that you could just see what a realistic family budget looks like on a monthly basis or on a bi-monthly basis. So hopefully it's been of interest to you and it's been useful to you. If you have any questions at all, please do drop them in the comment section below, or you can drop me an email. My email address is linked in the description bar below also. But that's it for this video, guys. I hope you liked it. I hope you found it interesting and informative. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and I will see you on my next video. Thanks for watching. Take care, guys. Bye.